you all for attending. This is really just kind of a session to learn how to use the autoresponder for Kalatu Cloud. I'm just going to kind of go through this with you all, and feel free to just jump in, ask questions. I learned this yesterday. I spent about maybe a couple hours, trying to figure out Kalatu Cloud yesterday, and specifically web Autoresponder. The best thing I can say to describe Kalatu Cloud is it's like Legos, right? They give you these small pieces, and then you put them together to build whatever you're trying to build. And you'll kind of see why I use that as an example, because when you go to create your autoresponder, you'll see that this part here, this autoresponder, so, intuitively you're thinking, okay, autoresponder on web forms, let's go and check that out. And this is like probably the best place to start. What you'll find is you're going to add other pieces to it to make this work. So, but before I get into that, let me just make sure I kind of give you a little sign off. I'm not going to go into a big description about who I am, but I'm Jay Harris. This is for Empower Network. This is really just more of a tutorial on how to use Kalatu Cloud. Whoever has Kalatu Cloud should be able to use this. Doesn't matter what your, if you what type of business that you're in. If you're using Kalatu Cloud, you'll be able to use this. There's not going to be any sales things. I don't think I have to put a disclaimer. This is just really technical information. Okay, so we're going to start off with just, this is the dashboard. You're going to go down to Autoresponder and Web Forms down here. Then this will bring this up. You'll get this dashboard. And we'll start off with Create Autoresponder.
Wait.
Question?
Are we going to Autoresponder and Web Forms?
Yeah, Autoresponder and Web Forms.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So go to, click on Create Autoresponder here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this new tab is going to pop in. So this is going to be the new tab to create a new autoresponder. So unless you have we're going to start with a standard one. Standard ones will allow you to send emails based upon a trigger. That's obviously, that's what autoresponders do, right? They send out emails based upon a trigger. So the difference between standard and specific date is standard is based upon a trigger, specific date is based upon a date. That's really the only difference. We're going to go to standard. I'm going to click on next. And this is where we actually configure the autoresponder part. So when I was kind of using the analogy of using Kalatu Cloud is like Legos, think of this as the piece that just sends out, that the trigger piece to send something out. So this is going to kind of be the autoresponder, kind of like the trigger part, meaning you're going to set up your autoresponder based upon the context time zone. It says if not using my time zone, there's a bunch of time zones here. I'm just going to use the context time zone. You can track all these types of things: plain text clicks, HTML clicks, track opens. I haven't gotten into a ton of what that really does. I just left the defaults there. I've got my email account here. You can you can put whatever email you want. And does anyone have any questions about how to do this? I can go over that really quick. It's super simple.
You mean how to put your email in there?
Yeah, because I had to add an email address for mine.
Can you do that, Jay?
Yeah, let me go over that real quick. It's super easy. You just go to settings. Yep, go to Kalatu Cloud settings, which is a little gear in the top right. Go down to email addresses. I'm getting like from somebody. And then you literally add just, new add. You just add name, email address, physical address. That's it. What will happen is that you're going to get a request to that email account from Kalatu Cloud saying, I need you to verify that this is a real email address. As soon as you verify that, it'll work within Kalatu Cloud. So that's super easy.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So back to Autoresponder. We're just going to say Autoresponder name. We're going to say test. So this is just literally the name of the Autoresponder that I'm going to have. Test. All right. This is, the display name, I'm not quite sure where that shows up yet. So we're going to find that out. I haven't seen it show up on any of the correspondence going out to whoever the emails are going to. I think this is more just for administrative use of your autoresponder, how to distinguish this specific autoresponder from another one kind of in this Kalatu Cloud back office. And then you can just put a little description if you want to. That's not necessary. All right, so this is, I'm just going to go ahead and save this right here. So this is basically saying that I'm going to create an autoresponder test. That's kind of what, that's just the autoresponder part. Now it's going to ask you autoresponder letters. So this is then, what letters are you going to use for this autoresponder? So this is kind of like the other piece. So this is going to be another piece in this set of what we're trying to build. So you can create a letter, copy from an existing campaign letter, or copy from your letter library. I'm just going to go ahead and create a letter. And this is essentially going to prompt a new letter, the new letter builder piece of Kalatu Cloud. This is why I was saying this is kind of like little pieces of Lego. You've created the piece for the autoresponder. Now we're creating a new piece for the letter. I'm going to go with a basic template. And you can use this letter for anything in Kalatu Cloud. It doesn't have to be to their autoresponder. It could be for an email campaign or what have you. You can, there's a whole bunch of, they've got templates for everything. They've got a gazillion different templates. I'm going to go through the process of creating something. So we're going to go with this guy. And then this is really, now at this point, we're creating a letter. We're just creating a letter. So I will go through that process. This is kind of where you decide when you want this letter to get triggered. So the option is to send it immediately after triggered, or you select a date. Kalatu Cloud is, their autoresponder mechanism works in a way where you have an event take place, and then that event triggers an email based upon the fact that you set up that autoresponder email, or if you just have it, if you just wanted to set up, if you just wanted to trigger a letter, the event and the sending of the letter are two separate things. So when you create this letter, it wants to know, when am I going to send this out? And that's kind of what this question is about. When do I send this? This is pretty bit much the same as like a Weber or a get response or anything like that. You're going to say, hello. You can put your contact field, your first name. You've got a whole bunch of different other fields you can put in here. And then, description of what, this is a description of what this letter is going to be about. So this is the message headline. This is just the description. We're going to call this test hello, so I don't confuse it with my other stuff. Okay, so you go down here to set a trigger for this email template. From this point, you can actually set up the trigger for the specific letter. So let's say that you want to let's say you set up this letter to prompt a video or an audio. This is where you would have that. You would have that take place. I'm not too well versed in this. I'll have to play around with this a little bit more. But my understanding of this is it's the letter's way of setting up a trigger. So for this template, it could you can click a link to this email. You have these options: opens my video or audio email. That's when you open the letter. This is what will happen. I'm just gonna have to say do nothing because I don't really have anything I needed to do. And then I'm gonna go to next. And this is going to be the actual letter. This is when you create the letter. So you're going to open up Letter Builder, go to Letter Builder, and this is where we actually create the letter that we're going to use. So let's say you don't like this header. I don't like this header. I'm going to get rid of it and say Autoresponder test. You can literally drag anything you want. You can do links, you can do images, you can do, whatever you want to put in here. You're going to save that, and then there it is. The way they have this set up, they have a lot of I don't know, I thought this was kind of cool. They have little coupons and stuff like that you can use. In this case, I don't need that stuff, so I'm just going to delete it. There's a lot of different templates based upon what your needs are. So, welcome to WLCOME to Kalatu Cloud. Okay, that's what my message is going to be. Save that, and then I'm going to close my letter builder. So essentially, when this letter is going to send this is the letter. It's my autoresponder test letter, and this is the message that's going to be sent out. Click on next. This is the plain text view in case you want to throw some HTML and get really fancy and do some really cool stuff. You can do that there. And then you go to finish. You can immediately save it or save in spam score. I don't know if you've seen any of the tutorials on what spam score is. Basically the way they actually have this really cool feature in here where they can tell if your emails are going to, the percentage of them being placed into spam versus not in spam, which I thought is pretty cool. Because obviously you want people to receive your emails and not get placed in spam. So if your percentage of getting to spam is high, you probably should change your letter. But if it's low, you're probably okay. Right. And then you're finished. And that's the whole letter part, right? So you've just completed a letter. We're going to go back to, so what we've done now, we've created an autoresponder and we've created a letter. So now you're saying, okay, that's cool. How do I get this to actually work, right? Like, how do I get people to use this autoresponder and letter? Well, that's why they actually have this autoresponder and web forms kind of combined on the same area, because web forms work with the autoresponder. So we're going to now move on to creating a new web form. And I'm going to kind of give you just real quick what I did for my site, just so you can see the after, and then we're going to go through actually how I got there. So I've got this, I got my site, Empowered Ads. And I need to clear my cookies. Whoops, let me do that. All right, so, okay, there. So you see how this popped up? What popped up is the web form. So that's what we're going to create now. If you put your first name, last name, email, and click on subscribe, that will trigger a letter, the letter that we just created, to get delivered. So that's how this works. This is the web form part. The autoresponder part is the thing that's going to trigger the letter that we created. That's why I said this is kind of like Legos. You kind of have to put all the pieces together, and you can put the pieces together in different ways. So let me go back to, where was I? I think it was over here. Over here. Okay. They have a lot of cool themes. I would actually recommend using the designer themes as opposed to basic layouts, just because, I don't know, the themes are pretty nice. You can pick whatever you want. Let's say we'll use restaurant, because I actually have a catering business as well. All right, so, and this is, you'll see how simple this is. This is just really going to be, this is a web form for this restaurant. This is really easy to make. We're going to name it something. I'm just going to title it Restaurant Web Form. So this is the category I'm going to put it in. You know, do I want to be a customer, a hot prospect, a new prospect, non-categorized, corporate leaders? I'm going to say I have this for my customers. You can when they enter in their name and email, you can have that automatically get categorized in a list. You can just, you can add lists to this. So for example, I'm going to do this for my restaurant, right? So I'm going to add UTAI catering. That's my catering company, and boom, it's there. So this web form is specifically for my Salutaire Catering customer base. You can select in a thank you page, and this will come in after they enter in the information for the web form. It'll automatically kick them to a thank you page. You can make this into anything. You can make this to a bridge page. You can make this to whatever you want to do, which I think is a really, really smart way of utilizing some of the pre-existing pages and work you've already done to create your website. All right, I actually don't have much for my Salutaire Catering, so I'm just going to leave this. Let's do the generic one. And then this is where the actions are for the web form. So after someone subscribes to my list, I want to send a verified opt-in email. You can do that. You can check that. You can do nothing. You can send an email, or you can start an autoresponder. Ta-da! This is where we start our autoresponder. So this is how this all ties in. Remember I created the autoresponder test? It's there. I'm going to select it. Boom. What this means is this web form is going to kick off this autoresponder that we created previously, which is tied to the letter that we created previously. All right, click on next. And then this is where I go ahead and update the web form that I want. So I'm going to get rid of my coupon. I'm going to edit this particular thing. This is just an example. You guys can put in whatever you want. All right, blah, blah, blah. You can basically edit all these fields. You can add pictures. You can add. I don't think you'd want to add anything more than a picture. I would actually probably recommend you keep this simple. This is literally just the form people are going to enter their name and email address. So don't make this too complicated. Close theme builder. Click next. All right, now this is going to be the really, this page is actually pretty amazing. What they did is they said, all right, we're going to give you every possible way you would need a web form, and we're just going to make this super easy for you to copy and paste. So let's say I've got something that needs an iframe code. I'm just going to select that all. Control C to copy, and then I'll have it to go back to my page, and I'll show you kind of how I did that in a minute. You've got JavaScript, you've got HTML, you have email code to your web developer, if you have a web developer. You've got graphical buttons, you've got text links, you've got you can even create like social media form things. I don't really know how this works yet, but I think that's pretty cool that they created this. Again, this is actually really powerful because it makes it really easy to do things, to get these web forms integrated in your existing blog. I'm going to show you what I did, if I can remember what I did. All right, so let me go to my blog. All right, so from my blog, what I did, which you saw before, I am using Lightbox. And that's how it pops up right away when you go to my page. So this is my Empowered email capture. Go to Lightbox. You can create one, add new to create one. I've already got one existing, so I'm going to edit. All I did for this, you're pretty much get the page. It's going to show like this. You can add media or what have you. All I did, I went to the text tab. Then I just literally went to select all. I just got the HTML code. Control C. Went to my my text, and I just pasted all that HTML there. Clicked on publish, and that's all I had to do for that to work. Really easy. So when I first went through this, I was like, okay, I'm finished, I'm done. Well, I didn't really recognize what this was saying. This is really the meat. Well, this is really the how you get your web form. This is the code for the web form. So you're definitely going to want to use that for something. So once that's done, just click on finish. And now you have the web form part to capture the name and email, the autoresponder trigger, and the letter to push away. And that will be all the pieces you need to use the autoresponder. And that's kind of the way that all this works.